It happened. It's the type of person he is. Apparently he likes to go after women more than men. That's what I've been told. I don't know.
How's it going today, guys? If you remember my last video on Nova Online, you'll remember that he got himself into a little bit of trouble, or not yet at least, but there's some huge potential that Nova might find himself behind bars, not for the reason we all suspect, his Discord degeneracy, but because of the people that he's hanging out with and what they proceeded to do to Purity Sins. Purity is a YouTuber who plays video games and occasionally watches Nova's videos on live stream. She has some laughs, her viewers have some laughs, and then she moves on with their day. But there's one person in the world who can't move on from it, because he hates women. He hates when he's the butt of their joke. I'm not really sure why yet. There'll probably be reasons we discover later on, but Nova just can't stand it. So he likes to go in Purity's chat and talk a little bit of shit to her, which is kind of odd. We all know he hates Bloodspeth the most, and the most he's ever done to Bloodspeth, myself, and other people in a similar niche is come into their chat, call him Gennaro Jackson, and move on. But for some reason, he really liked to harass Purity Sins, and that is what it is, but it got way worse when Nova decided, well, it's heavily suspected, to get his friends involved with also what's heavily suspected, the UTTP group, the SWAT Purity Sins. And in my last video, we really just knew that it happened. That's all the information we had. And also Nova going to Purity and saying, hey, listen, I had nothing to do with it. My hands are clean. Well, besides the Discord degeneracy, they are absolutely clean. And that raised a huge red flag because, for one, why would Nova go out of his way to talk to people he actually hates? And two, if it's something Nova doesn't care about, he has no knowledge of it whatsoever. So the fact that he was panicking all of a sudden really told you a lot about what was actually going on. And then we get the information that the reason the FBI showed up like 2 months ago was because of the Purity Sins case. Everything is unfolding, things are starting to make a lot more sense, and Purity Sins is here to detail all of her suffering, the tragedy that the Chome put her through. So I'm not going to speak much more in the intro, let's go ahead and jump right into this.
Well, apparently people are expecting Nova to show up, but I think he is legitimately too afraid of you guys. Remember, everyone, if you see Nova, he is a swatter. No matter how much he tries to weasel out of it, I got swatted by his people on his command. We've already gotten confirmation on that. But people wanted to see it. He did he has been trying to contact me. So he thinks I'm actually going to talk to him. So I want to get this out there right now. I do not speak to swatters. Ever. He put me in danger, my mom in danger, and my pets in danger. By the grace of God, those cops didn't kick down the door. But I had pointed at me because he thought it'd be funny to swap me. Somebody with severe PTSD from assaults and had her door banged in by cops. Again, by the grace of God, the 2 cops that were at the door didn't have their out when they realized it was just 2 small women living there alone. But yeah, no matter what he says, yes, he was involved in the swatting. We have already gotten confirmation on that. And it's already been given over to the police. Every piece of info I have been able to get on him the last few months have been turned over to the police. And as somebody who is already terrified to leave her house due to PTSD, yeah, that did great for me. That did fantastic. I don't usually talk about shit publicly, but since he decided to bring it up, yes, it happened, and because of him, I barely could leave the house for a month because he set off a PTSD attack. Unlike him, I actually have issues. You know how fun that is to be able to not leave your house because you have a panic attack? Yeah, that was me for a month.
I remember when Chome made the Chome list. You guys know, it was filled with a bunch of people that he disliked. Myself was on there, and at the very tippy top, Bloodspeth was. He was written in red. Now, I'm not sure if Purity Sins was on it, but it makes a whole lot of sense now why the cops showed up, or at least the FBI, excuse me, and was asking, so what does this list mean? At the time, I was thinking that's silly. Obviously, this is just a stupid little list Nova put together. I guess they're just asking to cover all of their bases. But no, I was just misinformed of what exactly was going on. This list might have meant a whole lot to them because Nova's targeting people, and maybe that list did have a whole lot more meaning than I initially assumed. A lot of the time, Nova comes across as like a goofball when he's interacting with us. Like he just wants to watch us on stream himself and he makes sure that we're watching, or vice versa. He does something so stupid he knows it's going to get covered, or if like you're covering Tofiichu, he's got to go see his one true love. But it's kind of wild to realize that this list that he created probably had far more nefarious purposes, and when you think about it, that is around the time he started hanging out with these super weirdos, or at least made it publicly known. It's also around the time Alice came into the fold, so a lot of questions are now being answered. Like, Nova was building this list, he was checking it twice, not to see if any one of us is getting coal or actual presents, no, to attempt to destroy our lives. No wonder he was calling us all Gennaro Jackson. He got some bad information and he was just running with it. This was a terrible list. I can't imagine what he had plotted for me, Bloodspeth, Kiwi, and Smokey. Like there's no end to what the Chome's degenerate mind could have came up with. And it's so wild because the one person who was actually doxxed, I assume Purity Sin, she was at least somewhat doxxed. He took full advantage of that. I was like, oh yeah, she's doxxed. She is done though, buddy. I am swatting her for sure. And he just did. He did. No hesitation whatsoever when the people were like, hey, we can do this, Nova. And he said, hey, A-okay with me. He's like, it is what it is. I'll tucker myself out with my Discord kitten and the night will be just fine. My enemies' lives are getting destroyed and things couldn't be much better. But I don't think the Chome realized how badly he messed up. I mean, consider this. Purity Sin's mom was deaf. Purity had to sign to this woman what was going on at the time. Like, she could have reacted so bad. It's just an incredibly fortunate situation that the cops, like, approached her next door neighbor who was also an officer, asked the dude, hey, like, do you know this lady? What's going on around here? Do you have any problems you've ever noticed? And he's like, no, she actually seems like a stand-up person. So they go with a more liberal approach. Like, hey, is everything fine here? This could have been so much worse. I've been seeing on Twitter right now a poor guy who got paralyzed from a very similar situation. And who knows what was going on in his household, but in Purity's, if it was a chaotic ordeal, like her mom could have acted very poorly because she doesn't know what's going on. A bunch of armed men are just storming into the house. Like, if you don't know that's police commands going on, or you don't know the police are going to be there in general, who knows what could have occurred. And I think that's what scares Nova the most, because how serious things could have got. It wasn't a simple haha, I'm messing with my enemies. It's, whoa, you committed a very serious crime, allegedly, that can get you into some very real trouble. Now, the things you do on Discord, I think should get you in some very real trouble as well. But if you're also doing this, just add it to it, you know? I mean, you're gonna be going away from something. I guess he's just trying to pick and choose at this point, make his paperwork look a little better.
Like I said, you know what's really fun? Opening your door to two cops and then looking around and seeing cops around the corners of the other houses pointing shit at you. And yes, I did downplay it when it happened. I didn't want the stream to panic. It is live. You can find it on one of the Pragmata streams it happened. Well, I can't say if they snitched on him or not. I don't want to give it away. We have people in the background getting information. But yeah, I'm sure Nova's freaking the fuck out because the cops know about him. In fact, you guys remember, what was it, 2 months ago when the cops visited his house? Yeah, spoiler, all that stuff that they were showing him was from me. My mom is deaf, okay? That was the thing that was the scariest the most. My mom is completely deaf. So I had to sign to them because her hearing device wasn't working well. So I had to sign to her to calm down and stuff because she was terrified when the cops showed up. He claimed I killed my mother. That's how much of a scumfuck he is. I had to show the cops my mom was okay, my pets are okay. I offered them some water and stuff because I'm not a monster, but I had about 20 cops around my house. They need more evidence that it was him, but they're gathering it. The thing with swatting is it takes a while, and I'm not going to get updated. The cops have already told me unless it goes to court, or I get new evidence to send them, it's one of those things that it has to go through the system, and the system, considering it's, you know, it's 2 different states, it takes a little while. And I'm not going to talk to him. I refuse. I refuse to speak to that man. Barely a man. I don't know if the FBI is watching him. I have no idea. But the mere fact he did that to me. And yes, I've been quiet for a few months about it. Jokes aside, it was an actual terrifying thing to have the cops at my door.
It's very ironic that the Chome and his strange friends chose to say that Purity finished her mom and then started doing terrible things to her pets, and the cops need to get over there quickly. Because, I mean, if you want to be real, that's very similar allegations to what Nova has going on himself. Now, the dog one is still more of an allegation, but there's a video with a whole lot of proof. The only thing you don't really see is, the frame below, so you just can't be 100% certain, but it certainly looks that way, that Nova was stomping at his dog. And then, this one isn't even a rumor. I mean, it's just like common sense. Nova's mom lost her foot to an infection. She lives in the heap. It's literally classified as a dump on Google, and I don't really care. The trolls did it. It's basically true. He lives in squalor. She got an infection, and he didn't try to take care of her whatsoever, and she just got to the point she lost it. And now the Chome still isn't caring for her. Not a damn thing has changed. So it's just very ironic to me that those are what he chose. And when Purity says the Chome is terrified about this, she's not wrong. A couple nights ago, I was on live stream. It was actually really late, and Chome did his normal thing. Like, he went live because he saw I was on live stream. And in fact, he started spamming Gennaro Jackson and things of that nature. He was doing towers, matter of fact. That's something he normally doesn't do. But yeah, Chome and his friends were doing towers. If you don't know what that is, it's like the F slurs and the N word, just wrote in like a tower-like fashion, so it gets past like the automatic censoring that most chats have. So that's what Nova was up to, and then he forgets about it. We're watching some DSP afterwards, and then he goes live, and he's like, oh, Chinchilla's still live, basically telling on himself that he knew about this, he was participating in it, and somehow the dummy boy let it be revealed that he was watching my stream. As we was watching his, you could hear mine playing in the background. He normally doesn't like to do that. He doesn't like to give people the satisfaction of knowing that he's watching the troll content, but he accidentally let it slip until I started bringing up the fact that he could have got an elderly woman and Purity Sins harmed, and almost immediately when he heard that, the Chome flipped out. He abandoned post. He got out of there. Ready for Chilla's play button? I feel like they wouldn't give me one. I'm so worried.
Oh, this is Miles Morales.
Hey, look, he is. Nova, you have me playing in the background, you idiot. He was trying to hide. I knew I heard myself. I knew I heard something insufferable. Dummy boy, he does listen to us while he's playing this shit. He just told on himself. Nova, I'm so glad you're a big fan. So why don't you listen when we give you opinions? So you doxed Purity Sins, excuse me, swatted Purity Sins. Not only did you swat Purity Sins, you've also talked to multiple miners. Coal miners, matter of fact. And not only have you done that, dummy boy, but at the same damn time...
Chilla.
Go to bed, why are you listening? At the same damn time, you tell us that all of this is AI. You know it's not AI. So if he had just listened to one of our advices, or when Kiwi and dude, he's so shook right now, he can't even press circle. Nova doesn't know what to do. Nova, calm down. I know you're a little rattled. Just explain yourself, man. It's okay. It's okay. Sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and maybe a Discord kitten will come to save the day, man. Just maybe.
Please, ooh. That was the cringiest ass bullshit I've ever said.
Nova, you literally ooh-woo to a 15-year-old as loud as you could, in hopes that she would call you daddy while you was changing your diaper. Did you forget about that? Did you forget about those ooh-woos? Big ups, Major Chilla at night. No problem, buddy. I mean, what did I say?
My foot's asleep.
Look, he reverted to baby
Sorry, guys.
voice.
My foot's asleep. I'm ending it off, and I want to bleed Chilla Drive content, so
Nova, you
I'm
just...
out for the night. Might go on Fortnite later this morning. Who knows? Peace out, y'all.
Nova, you just accidentally revealed you watch all of our streams. So yeah, after I confront him, like, I guess kinda confront him, he was listening nonetheless. He just completely panics, he couldn't even play Spider-Man anymore, and the only thing I can give Chome about his Spider-Man gameplay is like, he's learned to press circle every now and then. Not much improvement otherwise. He completely regressed, pun intended. He couldn't handle the pressure, and he had to peace out of there. And if you think it just stops with the doxing, I wasn't even aware of this fact while I was on stream that night, but apparently the Chome's buddies, let's call them, did a little bit more things besides just try to swap Purity Sins. Apparently they tried to do something to the animals as well.
But it happened. I'm okay. Again, the two main cops were very nice by the grace of God because of one of my neighbors being a police officer. They didn't have their drawn. One of my neighbors vouched for me, that's a cop, that my mom and I are pretty much harmless from what I was told by the police officers. His exact words were, "The worst thing I've ever seen her do is sing to her dogs." And you can laugh. Yes, I have brain damage and I have a caretaker. What the f do you expect? They are handling it all. I can't, because of the issues with my head, I can't deal with it. And thankfully, my neighbors didn't think anything bad of me. He also sent people to my house to try to get pictures. So, also, that was a thing. Nova sent people to my house to try to take pictures. They tried to jump my fence, and then suddenly my dogs got sick. So yeah, Nova's kind of a scumbag, and so is all of his friends. It happened. It's the type of person he is. Apparently he likes to go after women more than men. That's what I've been told. I don't know. There are people... I don't want to give too much away, but there are people trying to help get information for me, for the police report. They tried to jump the fence at first, and the fence is unlocked. So, I don't know. Thank you, Crimson. Again, thank you, everybody. I'm okay now. I can go outside now easier and stuff. The mere fact I just laugh and giggle at his streams pissed him off enough to send people to my door, sent people to my pets, and to swat me. Him and his entire group are great people, I tell you. But yeah, no, everyone's been very kind about it. I've gotten a lot of people sending me messages to see if I'm okay and stuff. Thank you to everyone. I'm okay. It happened like, what, a month or? No, I think 2 to 3 months ago. I've just been fairly quiet about it, because I don't really like to worry you guys. I really don't like to worry anybody. I deal with my own issues privately, so. Since people had found out about it during my stream snipe with them, that's what happened.
What a caring mental health advocate Nova is. He knows somebody has some trauma, he knows where she lives, makes sure he has his weirdo friends go up there, and who knows what they're up to. Apparently, Purity's dogs got sick after they showed up. They were putting things on the ground. Just absolutely disgusting behavior all around. And the Chome knows very well how stressing this all is. He's claimed there's been like 4 swatting attempts on him. Now, the neighbor has claimed that one of them is legit. He's never seen FBI officers or any other PD out there besides, you know, the time the FBI showed up and the one swatting. But he was going on and on about how terrified he was and how he can't believe it would get to this point. But he's just willing to put the Purity Sins through the same damn thing. And Purity Sins also has trauma. Well, let's be very real here. Purity has real trauma. Nova has made up trauma. Things he could get away from so easy. And if he wasn't such a degenerate, he wouldn't be facing none of these problems he puts upon himself. He's such a hypocrite. All the times he's talked about how terrible doxing is, but he immediately doxes Kiwi Tapes when he thinks he has the opportunity. And it wasn't even Kiwi Tapes. And not just that, he also made sure to post the guy's son along with it because he knows Kiwi is a father. And he's like, oh, Not only did I get you, I got your son as well, buddy boy. And with the information we have with Purity, who knows what him and his dummy boy friends sent or tried to do to this poor soul before they realized they was wrong. This situation kinda reminds me of the thing between Marty and Cyrax. When Cyrax got exposed by Kate, he got into contact with Marty and was like, hey, listen, we need to hire a person to take care of Kate. If you guys can catch my drift, he's like, hey, we don't need her around anymore. And Marty, he was playing along with it, and he's like, all right, Cyrax, I've got some bad news for you. We can get it done, but there's gonna be some other people that, you know, some bad things might happen to them as well. And Cyrax was like, well, it's fine by me. This situation is very similar, but the one big difference is, well, Cyrax was also a dummy boy and just talking to Marty. Nothing real came of it. You actually had the police officers show up there, or at least it's heavily suspected you were involved with your friends doing this. And just saying, Nova, it really shows your innocence instead of like confronting and showing direct proof that all of the allegations are false. You are now resorting to potentially harming the people that talk about you. That is crazy work.
So, basically what happened was I was streaming Pragmata. At the time, the day before, we had had a lot of weird people show up at my door banging on it. They claimed to be all different kinds of things, from pizza delivery to like Walmart delivery, but there was no signs on the cars or anything, especially the pizza person who ended up doing donuts and blasting their horn, which again, I believe that was caught on a stream. I don't remember which one it was. If anyone does, please enlighten me. The next day, during my next stream, which was Pragmata, the police showed up. I have a neighbor who is a cop, and I am fairly certain, from what I have been told, he went to bat for me. Because the worst thing, as he said, I have done is walk around and sing to my dogs. They knocked on the door, I answered, and we talked. They had their hands on their guns, telling me that they had gotten a report that I had killed my mother. I looked around, and across all of the other houses, between them were other police with their guns out and pointed at my house and at me. My mom came out once I went and got her. I signed to her because she was trying to fix her hearing devices because she is deaf without them, what was going on. The police were very nice. They came in, they checked everything. They saw that I was streaming. They knew about streamers, which surprised me. They gave us a case number and they left. I gave all of the information I had to the police, thanks to Chin Universe and other people giving me information. At the time, we also had the problem of some of Nova's friends threatening me. Yes, behind the scenes, I was terrified to leave my house. For the next few days after that, we had creeps coming to the house trying to take pictures, banging on the door, and somebody jumped my fence and started throwing things on the ground. We chased them away with our neighbor's help, and after that, the dogs got sick. So we don't know what the he threw on the ground. It looked like food, but it was probably tainted. We cleaned it all up, and after that, nobody started showing up anymore. But when I mentioned the swatting on stream recently, Nova flipped the fuck out and started trying to contact me. I want nothing to do with him, okay? I believe everyone can understand my sentiment here. I don't want to talk to somebody who is more than likely involved in my swatting, because the people he's friends with was obsessed with him. And the fact that I laughed at Nova on stream and stream sniped him, as well as doing the voice in the Nova, I think it's called the Nova Files. I did the voice to protect the 15-year-old. I voiced over her. So there you have it. That is what pissed off Nova.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Purity was suffering through problems like struggling to leave the house, like not knowing who to trust around this time. I mean, it would be a whirlwind of emotions for just about anybody. I mean, you just sit there and laugh at somebody on stream every now and then, and all of a sudden they start sending people to your house and strange things begin to occur. And think about it, guys. Purity's sins is like the least of the Chom's worries. Now, she mentioned it earlier, in which I heavily suspect is the reason Nova hates her so much or has such a bone to pick with her at the moment, and that's because she did the voiceovers during the Nova files, which is some of the most damning evidence against Nova. So I bet he has a bone to pick with her about that, but going to this level is absolutely insane. Purity Sins just agreed to do a voice role so that the person that you harmed, Nova, the person you was taking advantage of, didn't have to be publicly shamed or publicly known about this since she was a victim. And it's actually a great thing that that happened, because look at what you're doing now. You're sending people to Purity's house. I could only imagine what you would be doing to the person, your accuser. I understand that Nova knows who they are, but if their information was out there, maybe he discovers where their city is, this could be an entirely different story. And I wish nothing but the best to Purity Sins. I hope they recover. I'm sorry for what the Chone put you through. So if you guys want, go subscribe to her channel. It'll be linked down below. And I guess that's enough for me today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, follow all the socials down below, use the hype feature, leave a comment as well, and I'll catch you guys next time.